How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Rads. Post-match reaction to Wolves 1, Forest 0. Bit of a different video. I'm currently in North Wales on a short holiday, and yeah, bit of a different situation. Obviously, I don't typically do match reviews, but it's only when I that have access to the game or I'm not at the game that I do this, and I am probably not going to do any editing on this video because I don't have the means to, because I'm away. So yeah, this might be a bit all over the place. To sum up, don't know what to say to it, to be honest. Just same old, same old. Poor tactics, poor lineup, to be honest. No O'Brien because he was injured. Aurier seemingly had an injury as well. Nico came back into the team. Bit suspect as to why QRT was playing again. Not a hugely bad player, but he was a weak link in my opinion. Cook as well. Wall yet again on the bench, which I feel is harsh. Johnson yet again, who didn't have a very good game, and we'll get on to the main reason why I didn't have a good game in just a moment. I've only seen the game for like 5 minutes literally, just on incredibly legal streams, but it just appears very, very similar to Villa in ways, but we lost. Maybe that's inaccurate. Apologies if that is inaccurate, but it just feels like we just don't want to attack. We don't want to actually try and win. We're happy with points, and right now I'm not even getting points. We may have got a point against Villa, but you know, Villa aren't even that good. Wolves aren't even that good, and you know, we missed a penalty today. You can't miss penalties when you haven't won for 8 games. I've actually have to think then how many games it was. You can't miss penalties. It would have been a huge confidence boost for Brennan to score that pen, and I'm not whipping into him. I think he's obviously a fantastic player, but it's not working for him right now. And if he can drop Wall, then he can drop Brennan. It's as simple as that, you know. And Wall's more senior than Brennan. He's captain, he's been around longer, and yet he's been dropped for the last 4 matches. So if he can do that, he can do it to Johnson. It might be what Johnson needs to give him that kick. Obviously Mangala came on. He apparently made a bit of an impact. I don't know whether that's true or not, but he should be playing. He should be playing. There's no doubt about that at all. Obviously Lingard came on as well. Don't really know whether he was effective or not. Didn't sound like he was hugely effective, to be honest. What concerns me, you know, losing yet again to a team that are near us, and when you really think about it, it isn't just this game. It's Villa. Yes, we drew. We should have won. I get why we didn't try and win in ways, because we lost 5 in a row. We wanted to just solidify and at the very least make sure we get a point. I like that tactic, but so long as we back it up, and we didn't today. And I'm going to get on to the next few games, which is what makes me so worried now. Obviously, the game before this, we had less. Before Villa, this is all over the place, isn't it? This video. The game before Villa was awful. Against Leicester, it was, I say awful, it was absolutely tragic, shambolic, as many bad words you can possibly think of. It was awful. Apart from Mangala coming on that game and Aurier, it was probably the lowest moment we've got to for quite some time. Obviously, before that, we obviously had those 2 bottle jobs against Bournemouth and Fulham. Teams obviously that promoted, both doing alright, but they ultimately promoted. Leicester were bottom of the league. You can obviously kind of accept City, and Spurs was quite a good performance, but ultimately you look at the results, it reads 7 defeats in 8, is it? I've actually lost count. No, I've generally lost count, and that's not good. That's not good. And what I find weird, I'm going to get onto the future in a moment, is we actually look better at the start of the season than what we do now. At the start of the season we had even less players. We technically were worse. We were definitely less gelled. Obviously Newcastle was very poor. Everton was obviously a game though where we were still gelling, and yet we actually looked quite good. Obviously it was a poor goal to concede, but we still got a point. We looked alright. West Ham, we were lucky with that penalty being saved and having a goal offside, but we still won. Key being for me Mangala and O'Brien in midfield, and we've not seen that since, which actually we did against Everton, but it was for a number of reasons, illness and obviously injury, but like, we could have seen that against Villa and we didn't. So it's just frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating, and you just can't help but feel like the worst is what's going to happen, i.e. relegation. We don't want it, but I think we're all realising that the Premier League is brutal. We all know it, but when you see it firsthand, it's even worse than you even could ever realise. I'm just demoralised. I'm just fed up with losing, but this is what's going to happen in the Prem, and we're going to get it a lot more, unfortunately, before we can even start getting better. Like I said, I'm going to mention this now. What worries me so much is the future. The next few games are harder than the last 5. The last 5 we've had 2 promoted teams. We've had Leicester and Villa, who are looking really poor. Wolves aren't exactly looking great. Only scored 1 goal against us today. It was a penalty. I haven't even spoken about the penalty itself. It was a good pen from Neves. It probably was a handball. I looked at the screenshot. It hit Toffolo's arm, no doubt about it. For me, it was a penalty. I don't know what our call was in the first half, but that's another topic. But the point is, the future. Brighton may have not won the last 3 since Graham Potter left, but they're still 7th. They're still a great side with more than enough in them to quite easily beat Forest. But then it's particularly games after that. Liverpool not looking the best, but they could still easily beat Forest. And I hate to say it, but they definitely could. You know, Rangers may be Rangers, but they still put 7 past Rangers. They still put 9 past Bournemouth. And Bournemouth haven't even lost since that game, which says a lot about how good Liverpool are if they put their minds to it, even now. And obviously Arsenal are looking like a completely different kind of team to what they've done the last 10 years. It's really concerning, and I don't know when the next point, quite frankly, is coming from. Possibly against Brighton. I think that's the only hope we can have in the next 3 matches. I do not see us beating Liverpool or Arsenal. Then after that, before the World Cup, we've got Brentford and Palace, and obviously Spurs in the Cup. I'll be at all 3, of course. Spurs in the Cup I don't really care about at all. Play the kids, play the B team, and yeah, it'll be another defeat, but we can get out that competition. And obviously Brentford are good. They are probably beatable, but I don't feel confident against them. And Palace, it's a huge chance to get points, but they're not as bad as some teams, you know, that we have faced recently and lost to, apart from Aston Villa. So yeah. What else do I say that I haven't already? Please leave in the comments below, everyone, your thoughts on the game, on the situation at Forest. Obviously, Cooper's on the new contract, but people are still asking questions of him. For me, he has to stay unless it gets ridiculous and we've got 5 points by January. You know, it has to be given plenty of time. We have seen signs of improvement against Villa, but today, from what I can tell, it kind of went a little bit downhill again. But that's just my take on it from listening to the whole game and watching about 5 minutes worth. But yeah, apologies, this video is a bit makeshift, no editing whatsoever, because I can't edit here. I will be doing a stream to Brighton. I don't normally stream games anymore, but like I said, I can't edit here. It's the best option I've got. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe to Rads, get me to 4K. That'd be vastly appreciated. And yeah, see you very soon, everyone.